Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, August 2nd in the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. As always, my name is Austin. I'll be joined by Logan, but today we are joined by your guys' favorite special guest. You know who it is. The broom is here, Logan. I see you with your broom out. A 3-0 day on Friday. Some people are saying we might not miss a pick in August. That's just the rumors. That's just what some are saying. Let's try to continue that today. Let's do a victory lap. Cubs' first five team total under 2.5. They only got 2 hits in the first 5. Only one run. Only one run in that whole game. That was 1-0 game. What the hell was that? Liberatore under 5.5 hits allowed. Great call. He only gave up 4, Logan. We take that. And then the strikeout sheet cashed again. The strikeout sheet has been paying. We just haven't really been tracking it towards the record. Now we are the month of August. Again, we will post it down below in the pinned comment. Talk about that again later. But Logan, let's try to do it all over again today. If you are new, do us a favor. Go down below. Drop a like. Hit that subscribe button. Let's try to never miss a pick in August. Does that sound good with you all? Hopefully so. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Let's dive into the picks. We're staying with the same routine as yesterday. We lead off with Logan. We go to me. Then we talk about the strikeout sheet. And then we'll talk about the trade deadline again if that's going to lead to good vibes. But Logan, lead things off. We need another winner. Where are we going?
Yeah, we found a winning formula yesterday with just 3 picks on the card. Let's do it again today. My favorite pick today is a first 5 bet, and I'm taking the White Sox and Angels first 5 under 5.5. Minus 140 odds on DraftKings is your best value there. Now, it's also playable at 4.5 for plus 110 value is what I was seeing. So again, when it comes to these picks and Austin and I's philosophy, we're just looking for winners. I mean, I'd rather take a juiced winner than a plus value L at this point in the game, just because like we got to keep the line moving. I want to stack winning days, and I do like the value at 4.5. But again, 5's a magic number in the first 5. It is how it is what it is. Yesterday there were 5 total runs scored in the first 5 innings, and at 5.5 you get a little wiggle room because really one of these starting pitchers is going to have to blow up to get the 5.5 over. So I do like that. Let's talk about who starts for the Angels today. It's Kyle Hendricks, the professor, 4.73 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP. Now, what I like about both these two starters is they're veteran starters, and they're both in pretty good form coming into this start. I'll talk about Savale in a second, but Hendricks is coming off a 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run game versus the Mariners. Really solid start for Hendricks, even this far into his career. At home, his ERA slightly lower, 4.07 ERA at home compared to a 5.44 on the road. So he is pitching a little bit better, at home. And with men on, Hendricks is allowing a 224 batting average this season. He's also 81st percentile on hard hit percentage. We know Kyle Hendricks' game. He's not going to come out and get 6 or 7 Ks. That's just not who he is this far into his career. But what he is great at doing is inducing soft contact ground ball outs. And I like that he is comfortable pitching out of the stretch. In years past, Kyle Hendricks has been really, really suspect with like men on and with runners in scoring position. But I like the fact that he is pitching pretty well out of the stretch. And 6 of the last right-handed pitchers to face the Angels have allowed 2 or fewer earned runs. The last 3 right-handed pitchers to face the White Sox, 0, 1, and 2 earned runs. And these guys were not necessarily aces by any stretch. It was Cade Horton, Ben Brown, and Taijuan Walker. I mean, those 3 pitchers aren't all that elite. Kyle Hendricks can kind of fit into that mix. Again, what we know about the White Sox recently, they are smoking left-handed pitching, but against righties, they are a little bit more suspect. And I definitely think he's vulnerable there. If we look at who starts today for the White Sox, though, it's Aaron Savale who starts for the White Sox, 4.36 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP for Savale. Now Savale enters the game in great form as well. I talked about it. We got 2 veteran pitchers they're coming in good form. Not hopefully no blow up starts. But his last 2 starts, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. So he's had back-to-back starts of shutout baseball. That's what I would absolutely love, a repeat of that. In July, his ERA is down to 3.86. So again, do we live in a world where Savale can go out and pitch a pretty solid start? Yes, we do. I mean, I would classify 2 earned runs or less would be exactly what I'm looking for from Savale today. 6 of the last 8 right-handed pitchers to face the Angels have allowed 2 or fewer earned runs. So they have not been all that elite versus right-handed pitching. They're only hitting 206 in their last 5 games versus right-handed pitching, which again, that's kind of speaks to the bats of this lineup. I mean, they're very streaky. This Angels offense is very streaky. That when they're clicking, They're a 6 or 7 run type team, but when they come out flat, veteran pitchers like Savali should be able to deal, and I can see that coming today. Trout yesterday sat with an illness. Is he 100% today and in the lineup? Again, I don't know. If he's in the lineup, great for him. But again, coming off an illness, maybe he's not 100%. Maybe he's seeing 3 baseballs instead of 1. We can certainly hope that is the case today. I really do like both these 2 starting pitchers. And again, I'm not going full game because bullpens with these 2 teams are weird to say the least. Hopefully, but this first 5 is a winner. But Austin, you got a full game pick. Where are you going?
I have a full game. I love your first 5 under, but I got a full game pick. Let's dive into that. I'm going to a game where yesterday we just saw some games where we're just like, does this feel like these scores feel wrong? We had several double-digit type games where both teams are putting to double-digit runs. We'll be on one of them. We'll be on the under in one of them at least. We're going to Yankees Marlins under 8.5 at -120. Yesterday we saw a double-digit game. I think the final score was 12-13. Lots of runs, especially coming late in that game in the bullpens, which I'll touch on why I think that was more of an anomaly. But I think it's a slower start game. I mean, we've seen these 2 offenses; they can be pretty inconsistent. Marlins and Yankees. The Yankees offense starting to turn it around, but they got a really tough task here today against Yuri Perez, who's been one of the best pitchers in baseball as of late. Love the under 8.5. You can go for the first 5 at 4.5. But as I said, if you get to the bullpens, let's just touch on the bullpens real quick. I'll talk about the starters in a second. You look at the bullpens. In July, the Marlins were a great bullpen. We're talking about a bullpen that was 4th in ERA. They were really, really good. Now, the Yankees were 29th, hence why they went out and made some acquisitions. Jake Bird, Camilo Duvall, and Jake Bednar. Those guys sucked yesterday. Now, do they pitch again today? I doubt it. And I think you're going to see maybe Tim Hill come out of the bullpen, a lefty, and you'll see maybe Luke Weaver as well. I just think the bullpens are not as bad for the Yankees. I think both these 2 bullpens are really good. And I just think yesterday was just an anomaly. It's like the teams knew the pitches that were coming their way. I think you'll see a better outing from both bullpens. And heck, if the starters want to give us some length, we'll certainly take it. But I do think that the bullpens will pitch better. Yesterday, these two teams combined to go 10 for 19 with runners in scoring position. If you think 10 for 19 is going to stay that hot, then fine, take the over. I just don't think that's going to be the case today. We've seen both these 2 teams have some games where we're just like, what's going on? We saw a high-scoring game in one of those Rays-Yankees series, and what happened the next game? They went out there and they had like no runs going to extra innings. Still managed to somehow go over. That pissed me off. But let's talk about these 2 starters. I'll begin with Cam Schlittler. He has not been the greatest guy for the Yankees, but he's been serviceable. 4.91 ERA and a 1.84 whip. The problem really has been the walks, but in July, Miami was 25th in walk percentage. So not a lot of guys in there that are waiting for their pitches. And Schlittler is a guy that does have the swing and miss stuff. Throws 98, 99 miles per hour. I think he's the guy with the highest velocity on the Yankees. And there's talks that maybe they put him to the bullpen. We'll see how Luis Gil comes out in his first start tomorrow. But again, this is a guy, if you look at Miami, 9 straight righties have allowed 3 or fewer earned runs. And it's kind of been Schlittler. He's kind of going 2 and 3 earned runs, which honestly you live with at an 8.5 total. You just can't afford like a 5 or 6 earned runs, which is basically what Rodon and Jansen Junk did yesterday. But again, this is a Marlins lineup that struggled to hit Miles Michaelis. We don't need a masterclass from Cam. We just need a serviceable start. I think we can get that. Then we turn it over to Yuri Perez, who I said has been great in July, 1.29 ERA. So the guy that came back from some injuries, had a rocky start in his first one, but he's been lights out with runners in scoring position, a .088 batting average, and knock on wood, batters are 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs so far this season against Yuri Perez. He's hard to see. He's 6'8", and if we talk about Schlittler, he's 6'6". He's 94th percentile expected ERA, 97th in expected batting average, 81st in barrel percentage. So again, this is a guy that has been lights out when guys get in scoring position. He's been great, and you could go first 5, but like I said, if this game was like 3-2 after the first 5, and then there was no runs coming afterwards, wouldn't shock me at all. Feels like one of those games we had the first 5 under. I forget which game Logan and I were on the first 5 under recently. All the runs came in the first 5 and then nothing came afterwards. I think it was one of those probably athletics in a athletic series, but I really think this is a good spot to take an under here. I think coming off yesterday, both double-digit runs, I think that the runs dry up a little bit today. Maybe they come back tomorrow. I love the under at 8.5 in this Yankees and Marlins game. And then our third and final play of the day should be no surprise. As we said in August, we're tracking it every single day. It's our strikeout hit rate sheet. We will post it down below in the pinned comment so you can check it out. It is normally something we post exclusively to the Dub Club, but I figured for the first few days of us tracking it every single day, we'll do it out for you guys guys. But again, you can get that in the Dub Club. I think you can get a month free with the link down below. NFL season slowly approaching. I think we're almost just a month away from the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. But we do like that. We'll post that in a little bit. I mean, if you're looking at, we're cooking it up kind of right now. We got Paul Skeens, Scooble, Wheeler, a lot of studs on the mound today. Stay tuned for that. I'll be posting the pinned comment probably pretty closely after we post this video. So definitely check that out. But to recap the card, then we'll get on out of here. We have Logan's pick, first 5 under, 5.5. We have my pick, full game under. And then we have the strikeout sheet, which is just a half unit play. We're not going to talk about the trade deadline, but if maybe we need to tomorrow, we might have to do it again. But let's try to go 3-0. Let's try to have ourselves a good day, and let's try to never miss a pick in August. Let's do it. We'll see you guys back to you tomorrow with some more picks. See you guys then. Peace.